I will bring the meeting to order. We have a shared vision in the Fern Ridge School District to provide excellence for every student so that each will reach their greatest potential. Thank you to the members of the public who have joined us. As a reminder, school board meetings and work sessions are meetings of the board held in public, providing an opportunity to observe the board's discussion and actions. In an effort to conduct official board business, we ask that the audience be respectful and refrain from questions, comments, and unnecessary noise while the board conducts the meeting. There is an opportunity for citizen comment tonight, and the board looks forward to hearing from those who signed up. I will share some reminders when we get to that portion of the meeting. Also, please note that all board meetings are live streamed and posted on the school board area of the website. Please rise. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will move into oath of office, and we have 3 of them. 3 new members. Do you have what you have ready? We will read all of them at the same time. Please stand with me. I state your name. Being first duly sworn, will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof, and the policies of the Fern Ridge School District. During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the office of school board member to the best of my ability, and will always strive to consistently put forth first the welfare of the children entrusted to the school district.
I do. Chair.
All right, we are going to move into election of board chair and vice chair. I make a motion to elect W.C. Grover, our board chairman.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion rests 5-0. You have that down? I don't want to.
I make a motion to elect Kathleen vice chair.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Yes.
Oh, one of those.
I know, right? Bam, bam.
Never seen anybody use it. All right. So I guess I take over now. And we move on to public comment. The Fern Ridge School Board encourages public input. A person wanting to provide public comment will need to complete and submit an intent to speak from the board's secretary by 1 p.m. on the day of the board meeting. Public comment is limited to the place on the agenda, not to exceed a total of 30 minutes for all of the commentators. A person giving public comment is limited to an established time limit of 3 minutes. While speakers may during public meetings offer objective criticism of school operations and programs, the board will not hear personal complaints concerning district personnel. Nor against any person connected with the school system. Please state your name if you are a resident of the district. If speaking for an organization, state the name of the organization. The board reserves the right to refer the matter to administration. All these people just want.
Yes.
David Ward. My name is Michael. Excuse me. My name is Michael. And tonight I just want to congratulate you on your achievements and thank each one of you for stepping up and volunteering your time for this district. Unlike previous board members who were either appointed or joined to their positions, all 5 of you were elected, meaning you had the support and backing of the community. While the majority approves of you, there are many who disapprove of your success and will do anything to see you fail. They will come at you from every angle imaginable to try and wedge you apart. These attempts can include lies, threats, belittling, fakeness, and limiting your access to all of the information available, forcing you to think there is only one way to proceed forward. My advice is to stick together, work as a team, and be open-minded in accepting multiple possibilities, while at the same time be relentless in seeking and exploiting out the truth and facts before coming to any conclusions or judgment. Over the past several years, this district has done a lot of bad things to a lot of good people, which has led to a rift in this community. That needs to end immediately, and the relations with fellow community members must be restored. This community is entrusting you five to carry out and complete that mission. Good luck to each one of you for the rest of your term, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's just the one tonight? So next we move on to approving the board minutes from last month.
I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from last meeting.
I will second that.
The first and the second, all those in favor?
Discussion.
Oh, sorry, yeah, discussion.
Okay.
No, all those in favor?
No, I have discussion.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so let me look here, on page 3. Item and 9A. I just want to make a little bit of correction. At the very bottom of the page, it said Director McCann moved to discuss this policy next month. What I actually did is I moved to table it. Okay.
So I think we just asked for a motion to approve with that correction, which we will make.
Can I get a motion to approve that correction?
I will make a motion to approve that correction.
A second.
Comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. What is that?
Is that all the discussion for? Okay, can I get a vote then? We had a first, we had a second. No, we already had that.
Okay.
And then we had a comment, right? Now we look,
Yeah.
now we take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
5-0.
Look at us.
We'll get this figured out. What did I sign here?
You can do all that.
Oh, okay.
And then the second set of minutes, that was the,
One's from June 26th.
Yeah, the special meeting.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the June 26th meeting?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 26th meeting.
I'll second it.
Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Our high school new curriculum board action, Ms. Vandekar.
For first steps.
Oh, sorry, superintendent's report. Tried to skip you.
No worries. Not if I prefer. Okay, first up, again, I want to thank our new board members and our returning ones. Thanks to WC and Kathleen for agreeing to be in leadership roles. There'll probably be lots of questions in the next few weeks. Feel free to reach out to Bree or I anytime, via email, phone call, or even set up a meeting if you'd like. Also want to recognize and thank, I didn't think our students would be here. I figured they'd be at the lake or something, but thanks to Jake and Riley for showing up tonight. First topic I wanted to update you on, which some of you may have heard about recently, the plan to purchase the house or the property, which contains the house south of Vineyard Elementary. I expect to have, I hope to maybe have the appraisal today so we could vote on that tonight. But it looks like I'm not going to get it till tomorrow. So I'm gonna add that item to our retreat agenda next Monday. You'll be able to see what we've offered, which is $280,000, and what the appraisal came in for, and then hopefully give approval to get that purchase rolling. So as soon as I get the appraisal, I'll probably send you all an email with some information on it. Just know that we'll talk about it next Monday. And we'll want to take action at that time if you agree that that's something we want to do. As a reminder, we'll be using our excise tax dollars to purchase that property, not bond dollars. We will be using bond dollars when we, in the summer of 26, go to repave and reconstruct the Veneta parking lot, including now the new property, to make that a lot newer, nicer, and larger. Excise tax dollars, I kind of looked into that account today. It was around 2008 when we started collecting excise tax money. And we've just basically been saving it. We have currently $341,000 in that account. And since around 08, so the last 16, 17 years, we have only spent $13,000 of that money. So looks like if we hadn't spent a dime, we might have around 355-ish. We've currently got 341. And that includes 5,000 that we actually put down for earnest money on the purchase of this house. So just have that on your radar. We'll talk about it next week. Bond update. Let me go through each building. Veneta, two main projects are the gym floor and the restrooms. The gym floor has been stripped. There was an issue with some moisture on the concrete once they got it all stripped off, that they think was, they kind of investigated it wasn't coming from the ground up, but rather over the years, through the seams in the floor when we would clean it, moisture would get under there and kind of stay. So as a result of that, we're currently investigating an additional cost. They're gonna need to seal the concrete. That process started this week. We're getting some quotes. That's really been the only hiccup there. The bleachers are on the way. And the work, other than that issue which popped up last week, is going well. The bathrooms at Veneta are on track. Middle school, the back structure has been demolished. Some excavation has started. I remember one of the main things we're trying to accomplish there is, besides creating a nicer, newer outside play structure for kids, is to make our front parking lot safer. And one of the ways we decided to do that was, I hope in the fall, we'll be able to move all of our buses from the front parking lot to that fire lane. So a bus will come in, they'll go down the fire lane, they'll go around a roundabout, or a loop essentially that we're creating, and the kind of the corner of that field is getting taken out. And then they'll come and line up along the fire lane, and that's where kids will load the buses, which will hopefully make the parking lot less traffic, more room for parents, which will avoid the backup that we're getting on Territorial every day at pickup. The loop I expect to be done by the first day of school. The structures are a couple months out. It's probably going to be October before the structures in the back are complete, as well as a structure right in front, for just kind of a rain structure for kids to wait before school, after school, if they're there for practice or get dropped off early before the school opens. The HVAC work, which is happening at both the middle school and high schools, on track, going well. No concerns there. The high school science is on track. All those rooms are gutted. Plumbing, I think, is pretty much done. Now they're starting to rebuild. I think it's gonna be close. I saw the updated schedule today, and they're basically cleaning up and finishing the last Thursday and Friday before teachers come back on Monday. So it's gonna be tight, but currently we're on track. And then the biggest project, the high school athletic facility. I have multiple meetings on that project every week. I do think the September 5th, having our first game there on September 5th, is in jeopardy. Certainly not off the table. And the plan, we're still on track. However, issues seem to arise daily, whether it's permits on time with the county or a lead time on some piece of equipment. As far as big things that have happened, the turf has arrived. It's going to start to be installed soon. The subsurface of the actual track has been asphalted. That's complete. They'll lay the turf in the field and then they'll come out, the asphalt will have cured enough time and they'll put on the track surface. We're laying a lot of conduit now for to make sure before we start paving that we have everything we need for, whether it's conduit for low voltage stuff or to the lights or the internet, Wi-Fi is gonna be out there. A lot of work around that now. Today, they erected the structure, the sturdy steel structure of the snack bar and restrooms. Parking lot's making good progress. The throws area is making good progress. The slab that holds the weight of the press box is poured. The framing, not framing, the rebar foundation of the grandstand is ready. We're waiting for it to get inspected. There's been some glitches there. Once that is done, hopefully this week, they'll be pouring that slab for the grandstands. Scoreboard's up, looks big and purple. Anyhow, so it's moving, not as fast as I'd like.
What if we don't make that deadline for the game?
I asked Miss Vandekar to reach out and the athletic director to the team that we play on that Friday night, and they're working on making sure their field's available, so it'll just be an away game. I hope that doesn't happen, but we have that as backup. So. I think that's pretty much, you're up to speed now on all things bond. Scheduled a meeting for next week with the transportation folks at First Student. We're looking at some ways that we can reduce costs while not affecting service. I'll keep you posted there. Planning has begun for August 25th. That's the first day all teachers come back. All the board members are certainly invited. You're invited to the whole day if you wanted to follow them around and learn how to run an AED or give Narcan or change your password on your email or all those kinds of trainings, fun stuff that the teachers will go through. But for sure, you're invited in the morning. We'll have breakfast, starts at 7:45, 7:45 to 8:15 for the board members that are able to make it and aren't working or don't have some other, something else going on. I'll certainly introduce you to all the staff. So if you wanted to put that on your calendar, the morning of the 25th in the high school cafeteria, that'd be great. Kids is happening at Elmira Elementary. Plan to visit them tomorrow. I actually haven't visited yet. Kids is, remember, our incoming kindergarten, kindergartners in transition to schools, the acronym for KITS. So we have a morning and an afternoon session of kids happening at Elmira Elementary. That seems to be going well. And then finally, our retreat is next Monday. A really important element of that retreat is what you want for lunch. So.
First year for the food.
You could go with Ixtapa. I could get pizzas from Countryside. WC could make lasagna.
I make a killer lasagna.
So anybody have suggestions? I'll make sure we're ready to go that day. You don't need to decide now, but might be helpful.
Depends on the time. I mean, if it's short and pizza, if it's.
We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be.
Hours, that would be that.
Yeah, typically we've gone to early afternoon. Like I think I mentioned to you in the email, we'll for sure go to lunchtime, have lunch. I'm sure we'll have at least a few things to talk about after lunch. And then for those of you that want, we'll go on a tour of all the bond construction stuff. So do people have an opinion of pizza or Ixtapa or something different?
Can I make a motion for Ixtapa?
Yeah. I'm good for anything except pizza, so we don't have a whole lot of options, so is everybody good with Ixtapa?
I'm good.
Okay, I'll have Bree later this week email you the Ixtapa menu, if you could just send back what to order, and then Monday morning early, as soon as they open, she'll order.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it. And that's all I have. Anybody have any questions on any of that I talked about?
The teachers bank, that's my 25th.
August 25th, yeah, August 25th. Okay.
That wraps up the superintendent's report. Moves us on to Ms. Vanderkar.
All right, welcome new board members and new student reps. Nice to see you today. I wasn't expecting it, but nice to see you. Okay, I'm Sydney Vanderkar, principal at Amarant High School. And I am following board policy. And we have 3 classes we want to add to our master schedule. When we talk about this to the staff, they're gonna tell you that these are not new classes because we've had some of them in the afternoon as clubs. And one of them we taught through our online school with Mr. Cooper. So if you have your, I don't know, do they have the paperwork? There's one called statistics. And what's important about statistics is that it is, we teach it with the Lane Community College permission. There's the Lane Community College outline, and kids can get credit for both LCC credit and credit at the high school if they take it. This class will be taught with calculus. So calculus will be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Think back to when you used to hear about college classes being Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. This would be the Tuesday, Thursday class. So it doesn't cost any extra for us because the teacher really wants kids to be able to use this. And what we did is we got some feedback from students applying to colleges, mostly in the medical field, that their college counselors wanted to see statistics on their resume, and it wasn't there. So this is to solve an issue that came up over the last 2 years. And it's actually working out quite nicely, only because we had the time and LCC is working with us to make it happen. Second one is robotics, and robotics was an after-school club that we had. However, my end goal is to increase our CTE offerings, and this is just the beginning. So if we had a health CTE offering, we would need a number of classes that we don't have. So I'm trying to slowly incorporate them without spending any extra money. So we have we're taking away 2 study halls and adding 2 classes that they can get fine arts or elective. By the way, statistics is math. Robotics and computer science will be 1 semester each, and they would count in the CTE process for health if we get that far. We already have it for, as you know, in our shop area, but what I'd like to do is offer something for people that are going into the medical field. So robotics would be a semester and computer science would be a semester. Anyone can take it, so it's an elective, or if they need a fine art, they could put it there as well when they're graduating. And they will learn, if you can imagine robotics at its lowest form, maybe think Legos, and you build it and it moves forward and it moves backwards, and then you teach it how to turn, right? So it's like a really, really fundamental robotics class. We already had all of the materials that we needed because we did it as a club, probably right before COVID. Some people in my building don't remember it. Some people do, so that tells me there's a break in time. And then computer science, we also did it as well. So I don't know if you have to vote on them individually. Yes.
Oh, they don't need to vote individually, they could.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, I can answer them, or
How many study halls will be eliminated?
just 2.
And there's still some available for.
Yes.
So if there's 2 study halls that are being eliminated, how many study halls are still there?
4. So it's really 1 study hall for a whole year, because it's 2 semesters. There's.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does every period have a study hall available?
No, last year we didn't either.
Okay.
What do the kids think about it?
Kids don't really like study hall, but you could ask them.
Yeah, what do you guys think about having study halls available?
Personally, I have a full schedule, like year round, and I'm fine. I'm also a year-long athlete, and I'm fine, but I also have work ethic and.
Right.
Superior, I live.
I actually did have a study hall first semester last year, but it was with my friends and I didn't get a lot done. Yeah, I guess this year I technically did, or second semester I did too, but also it was, I just didn't use it. I'm fine without one.
My view on it is your freshman and sophomore year, you pretty much have your schedule planned out due to credits you have to fill. And then your junior and senior year, you can take open periods since you can do that and still graduate on time, so.
That's what I was gonna ask, is it study hall use more like a time filler for kids that are already here ahead on credits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. They don't want open periods necessarily. There are some younger kids that have the option to take them, but like, if you want to do foreign language and stuff like that, your freshman and sophomore year, you're pretty booked out.
Yeah. I have a study hall because I don't wanna have an open because I live too far away
Right.
to have an open. Like it's inconvenient for me to have an open, so I just take a study hall.
Yeah.
If,
My experience too is a lot of times it's the parents that say, no, Timmy's not having an open period, he's in a study hall, so.
Good.
Have you ever had trouble in the past placing anybody in a study hall? Like there wasn't a class open for that student?
No, there's room. I would say what they're expressing is that not a lot gets done in there. So, this would beef up our curriculum and it would give more opportunity for kids who aren't going the route of just the CTE and shop, but we do have more steps to go. We have to be approved by both ODE and Lane ESD. All those terms, Oregon Department of Education and Lane Service District. So this is just the beginning of the idea, but I didn't think we could do it without spending any extra.
Yeah. I'm on board as long as it doesn't, free up a bunch of excess time for kids with an open games. So I'm good.
It actually creates opportunity
Yeah, that's
to
great.
work harder, yeah.
Awesome.
I would love to make a motion to accept all three curriculums. I think those are great.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
All
it.
those in
Thank
favor?
you, Sydney.
I,
All those opposed?
It's okay. Okay, the next item was the retreat agenda, and I think I've sent that to you. Just a reminder, feel free, actually, now that we have a chair, if you have items you'd like to consider being added to the agenda, just email WC, you can CC me or not. If you don't, WC, let me know. I will certainly resend that out Friday in my Friday update. But hopefully you've seen kind of the things that are on there, so. If anyone has any suggestions in the next week for adds or deletions, let me know.
Association Summer Fall Conference. Great.
Yep, I've got everybody who is going, got them registered and hotel booked for everybody, and I emailed you guys all your confirmations.
thank you.
Yeah,
West Lane Charter Annual.
Wesleyan Charter Review, nothing to do here, other than by contract to report to the board, once a year. A week or two ago, I sent you the compilation of what they submitted to me, my short write-up, and summary. Each June-ish, I go visit, I talk to them, of course, often throughout the year, but each June I do a site visit, interview them, ask questions, and then compile something like what I sent you. So there was nothing alarming. I think things are going fine there. I do appreciate their director, Darcy Stoller. I think she's doing a great job. If anybody has any questions about Wesleyan Charter, feel free. Otherwise, this is just to meet the requirement of sharing this report with you, like I said, since I did a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
Alright. Now the Fern Ridge School District Parent Student Handbook.
Yeah, so typically one of the last things administrators do before they take a few weeks off is send me any changes or updates. Then in July, I work on those changes and updates between the time they leave in this board meeting. And then we look for the board to approve. If there's been any real substantive significant change I pointed out, there really has not been. The most substantive one that I was going to share was the middle school's new cell phone policy for 25-26. However, as I shared with you, also in an update, governor put out a new requirement. So I've deleted all the cell phone language that each building had in the handbook and simply put a statement in there that says this is something that school board and school administrators are gonna work on the fall, and once we come up with our new district policy and language, I'll insert it in there and we'll update the online version of our handbook. So all of the changes were really just names, room numbers, phone numbers, typos getting fixed, and that kind of thing. So I think sounds like we still have a few to fix, which I'll do over the next couple of weeks, once principals get back and check with them. But again, there won't be any substantive change, unless someone has a request or recommendation. And then early August, they'll go to the print shop. And our practice has been to have some available if a parent wants a hard copy. But in general, we just offer them to kindergarten parents. And then we really promote that it's posted on the website. So if anybody has any questions, fire away. If not, then I'd be looking for a motion to approve our 25-26 parent-student handbook.
So there's a couple points on this. I don't know if it has to be like a discussion after the vote kind of thing. One's more of a question, see if we can fix it. I don't know if you have to raise a motion to fix the first thing, and then the second one is also something I have to go over in the same vein. Regarding audio dialers and parent square for notifications of attendance. Curious why do the elementary schools make the attendance calls home between 8:30 and 9 when the parent square goes out as well, kind of a redundant thing. If I'm understanding it, anyone who has an unexcused absence would be contacted twice, once by one system, once by the other. Why not just send the attendance alerts at 8:30? So I don't know if that's I think we have to look to amend, or if I do a motion to amend that.
I don't think you need to do a motion. I think what I would do, let me run that by administrators. The initial language that's in there is really pre-parent square. You know, and then we adopted parent square 2.5-ish, 2 years ago. And so maybe it could be eliminated. Let me talk I don't know the intricacies of how it works at the elementary school level. If a kid could be missed, you know, a lot of people in parent square, the first thing that comes to my mind is that if you in your settings as a parent register to get any reports at the end of the day, you're not going to be notified that your kid isn't there until 6 o'clock. But also there might be a way to override that. So let me look into that.
Yeah, because the audio dialer is always still working anyway. And the parent square is an additional thing for people to sign up for multiple reasons, but the attendance also going through that. So they're going to get called twice, essentially, once through the auto dialer and also once in parent square.
Right. But the parent square, they won't get till the end of the day.
Yeah.
For many of our parents. And so if we eliminated the auto dialer, then.
No, I mean, I would say keep the auto dialer and have that go out at 8:30.
And eliminate parent square.
Because they're going to be making those calls, following up with them. I think it's a text at first, and they reach out to the parents at the beginning of the day, once the attendants have come in from the different classes.
And I wasn't even aware that a parent square notification went out when a kid wasn't there.
I wasn't either, I guess.
Is that, we don't have any elementary.
Yeah, I think elementary, it doesn't, but
I'll look into it. And
Middle school.
regardless, so maybe let's add that. I'll look into it over the course of the next week. Let's add it to a retreat topic. And what I hear you saying, Mark, is you think if an elementary kid doesn't show up at school, they're getting 2 phone calls.
Essentially, yes. Yeah. My wife does work at school in front office, so she knows how it works. I don't know if that's the inside scoop, if she can shed light on that.
Sure.
We call and we try and get through all the calls of everyone who's unexcused before that 9 o'clock shut off. Or 9:15, I thought it was, but if you don't get through them, then we get the calls, and that tends to be when the parents start calling in. A lot of them don't answer.
Okay, I'll I'll get an email going with the elementary principals. And maybe include some of the secretaries and see if they think they have a better way.
So attendance would be the would we be voting to approve it if it's not, if there's still fixes to be made?
We could,
Just, I mean, we can't do anything with it until after we come up with the cell phone policy, which is at the retreat anyways, correct? I mean, so we're approving something we're gonna amend anyways.
well, we won't, I don't think we'll come up with our cell phone policy at the retreat. I'll just want to get, yeah, I'll get your guys' input next, I don't remember the exact date, but the first or second week of August, the administrators will meet. That'll be one of our topics. In my mind, I want to get your guys' input at the retreat, talk to the principals, get their input, and then at the August board meeting, share with you what I'm thinking in regards to cell phone. So I do think it's okay to, what we don't want to do is not approve this till August. We could not approve it till August, we just then know we're not gonna have handbooks at the start of school. So what's in there on cell phones right now, it just simply says, we're gonna have a policy in the next coming, early.
Oh, so you're planning on printing this and handing that out with that language in there? Okay, tracking,
What I put in there.
tracking.
But we could approve this on Monday, that's still plenty of time with the change, with the potential of a change around this phone dialer issue, so.
Okay, so as a follow-up to that, if, for instance, so I've looked into this and there's another topic I was gonna discuss. When you have like a possible solution to it, or yeah, I guess a possible solution to something you see fixed that needs fixing, is that something that's worth sharing with the board ahead of time? Rather than, I point out something and then we, a quick discussion and then vote on the change, like maybe motion to amend something. Is that something that's worth putting onto the board ahead of before, like today, for instance?
Like,
Not like a new point of order, but something like this comes out for today, and we all know what's going to be talked about, and then to give the rest of the board time to think about somebody's solution to something, is it worth putting that information out to the board ahead of time? So when I say, hey, like in the email, I discussed, this being a possible fix to something or rewording, is that the best option, or do we just show up and?
Should he have added it to the agenda prior to this meeting? If he saw something we were gonna take action on, if I'm.
This is already an agenda thing,
Right,
right? And so it's already on the agenda, and then you go to, second and discuss. But sometimes you're gonna discuss something and it might, take a little bit to explain, and then you go like, I guess I'll vote for it, or maybe not.
right.
you can just ask for, more information, we're not gonna vote on it.
Okay,
So, and you can also make a motion to table it to the
sure,
next
there's
meeting.
no mechanism ahead of time to say, these are the things I'm looking at.
Sure, so let's say, for example, and I let you know several weeks ago, this was gonna be on there, if you had. Read it or whatever and say, hey, Gary, I got these type of questions, I certainly could have done research and came and said, hey, Mark reached out about these two things, this is what I found out. And I will have either changed it or we could talk about it here. You can definitely, when you know something is gonna be on the agenda, you can definitely email me, and I prefer that. Let me know, hey, I'm gonna have these questions, could you bring me some info on that?
Can those changes be made in real time during the meeting and then approved the same day?
Something like that, I would wanna run it by school administrators first. And I would think you would want their input on you making sure that what we're doing here isn't creating some other
So there
issue.
wouldn't be like a motion to amend it then? I would think that we would have to amend it.
Things potentially could be, yes.
Yeah,
Depends, situation
Could be.
dependent.
well, I think it would depend on the topic. You can do whatever you want, I just probably advise you one.
I wouldn't miss out on the window, if you'll say something, you go,
Yeah, no. At any point, let's say whether you adopt this tonight or next Monday, if in October there was something you wanted to talk about, we could talk about it. I found something specific in the handbook, it's an issue on how they calculate GPAs at the high school, let's talk about this. Get some info from administrators, you guys can talk about it, we're looking at changing this. Get the, again, input from them and you can decide if that's something you want to help.
I would say I think that his Friday updates help a lot. Like he gives a detailed update every Friday, and if you have a question on that of things upcoming, you can ask him, and then that can be brought up. Cause I see what you're saying, like I don't wanna miss the boat.
Cause
But-
otherwise, sorry.
Oh, no, just his like detailed Friday weekly
Yeah.
updates help a lot. It's a lot of information in those that we get every Friday.
So for instance, in this case, I was like, yeah, motion to amend some of the wording in that regarding, maybe going to just be able to do data from attendance thing.
Mhm.
Parent Square does handle, it has its place, I use it.
Yeah.
But in this case, it would be motion to amend, the parent handbook for audit diaries. What time, 8:30, it seems like a good time from the staff there.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's.
Good point.
Yeah, I think it would just depend on the topic, like if you wanted to do that now, my advice to you would be, let me get input from the school administrators first.
I think what he's saying without speaking for him is like, how do you approve this though now?
Yeah, I think we should just wait till next Monday, so I'll look into this issue, get feedback from the principals, maybe the secretaries as well. And then I'll share that with you on Monday, maybe I'll have a draft, this is what I wanna change it to, or no, I don't think we should change this, here's the reasons why. You guys can decide if you want to approve it or not next Monday at the retreat.
Wait till table it. Decide.
My question is, did you make a motion to table it?
Well, has somebody made a motion to approve it?
No.
No, then we just have this discussion, we go to the next item. Okay. I mean, like I said, it's, if we approve it next Monday, still several weeks, plenty of time to get it printed and ready for the school registration.
So we'll just add this to Monday's agenda.
Yeah, we'll add it to Monday's agenda. Was there another topic you wanted me to look into?
Yeah, essentially, it's to do with volunteers and visitors, the policy part of it. Excuse me, I know like the handbook is like a summarized version of all the policies, so parents and students know their rights and kind of responsibilities. So this would be regarding in-state criminal records checks being the same as, oh yeah, so are the in-state criminal records checks the same as the criminal history verification? Is the verification just a form to start the?
Verification is a form, we take that, Bree sends it off to our vendor that runs the report comes back to me, or comes back to Bree if there's an issue. She gives it to me, I review it and decide this person can't volunteer, they can.
Okay.
I initial off, the most common things are someone said no, and then an event comes back. If the event is I'll use an example of a DUI, then I will approve it. Bree will make contact and say, you need to make sure you include this next time, or we could not approve you because you weren't being honest on your criminal history.
Okay. So the volunteer policy and handbooks might conflict with the district policy for criminal records checks and fingerprinting. The wording they use. So in page 11 and 37 of the handbook, it says you need a criminal history verification to volunteer in the classroom. District policy says volunteers are not likely to be unsupervised and do not need a background check.
Correct, I think, so what you described is accurate in the sense that if I'm going to come volunteer in my kid's kindergarten classroom and it's not in any capacity that I'm gonna have unsupervised, or maybe it's gonna come in and watch, you don't need a criminal background.
Yeah, in December, you mentioned that in the December meeting, about that example of somebody coming in, and he used the word volunteer to be essentially sitting in the classroom, right? When the difference between volunteer and a visitor would be, volunteer comes in with a background check, they have unsupervised access with other kids, so you can chaperone on school trips like I've done before. You can be around these other kids, whereas visiting, you're just gonna go sit in your kiddo's class,
I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, elementary people, but if we have somebody come into the room and they're volunteering in the classroom, helping the teacher make copies, whatever, organizing, cleaning, they do that in a capacity without a criminal background check.
Okay, yeah.
I flew one out when I volunteered for 4 years at the elementary.
You don't let anyone pass those doors if they don't have a background check on.
Yeah. That's what I'm bringing this up. The handbook is conflicting with the policy. I think the policy is solid in this.
Well, and I'll look into the issue. People definitely go by those doors without a background check.
Yeah.
Every morning when they walk them to their classroom. So, and every day when they pick them up.
They're out of policy essentially, but yeah, I know the front staff, people like make sure they bring people in, make sure they don't let them go in. Not against visitors, that's totally fine, that would be an acceptable normal thing to do, it's kind of rare to have.
Could you shoot me an email just so I have clarity of what the issue is, and I'll definitely
Absolutely, it would essentially be changing or striking volunteer from, so as not to conflate the two in the handbook.
volunteer.
Whereas in policies, they are two very separate things. Okay.
I think I understand. Will you send me an email?
Yeah, sure.
Will you copy me on that? So
Yeah, of course.
I'm not tracking. I'm sort of tracking.
Yeah, that's all it is. The volunteer has a background check and they have unsupervised access, like to be around other kiddos on chaperonings, like field trips. Traveling in the classroom kind of thing, a visitor can come, they usually go and see their kid in their class kind of thing, see what's going on.
So you're saying in the handbook, it doesn't distinguish between the two?
Yeah, so for instance, there's kind of supervisor with the class, with the teacher, that's fine, I get that, but they, you know, once they pass the doors, it's free roam, and there's like a resource room, which is, you know, a good thing to have, but it's during the school day. And then people are past those doors and we don't know where, you know, where they've gone from then on. So it'd be kind of word changing to the handbooks, what it kind of suggests, you can run that past the administrators.
Okay, so all this topic will be on the retreat agenda. Mark will shoot me an email on that issue. I'll look into the phone data thing, talk to some elementary folks, and I'll have some info on both of those next Monday.
Now we're on the personnel.
Number 9.
None? None, not this time. Late items and closing then. Upcoming events.
Number 9.
Oh, yeah, number 9. Yeah, that's the one.
Annual organization appointment for school year.
Yeah, so that'll be a document Reed pulls up each summer. By board policy, we're required to identify these items. There's been no significant changes, same as last year. I don't think there's been any changes. But this does take board action and identifies who our attorneys are, the paper we publish, notices in, etc.
Make a motion to accept resolution 25-26/01.
Second.
Comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? 5-0.
Licensed employees, we don't have any at this time. I will mention, I do see it likely in the next couple of weeks, we'll be hiring a 1-year temporary teacher, a 1-year temporary elementary teacher. But I have some work to do before that occurs. So probably will be something on the August board agenda in that area. The non-licensed report, Bree will pull up. This doesn't need board approval, or just for your knowledge, the board will always vote on and approve any licensed hires. For non-licensed folks, it's just notifications. So that's mostly our classified staff and coaches.
Okay.
Number 11.
Late items, now we're closing comments for community involvement.
Just to clarify this one, late items would be if any board member has one, they could bring it up for closing comment. And then in the last year or so, the board has added this. There's not a lot happening now, and y'all are, you know, it's the middle of summer, just getting going, but throughout the school year, it's an opportunity on the community involvement to just share. You know, Mark might say I volunteered and went to the Raptor Center on a field trip. Lisa might say I attended the basketball game. It went well. Kathleen said she went to a basketball game and yelled at the ref.
For sure, for sure.
So.
Quoting that from last year.
Anybody have any like comments? Anybody want to?
Been happening, man. It's
I know, so it's happening.
Gary, hold this to the old goalpost. What are they gonna come down?
The old goalposts. I'll give you a little more info after the meeting. There's some challenges. Mostly around, I found they want engineering if we install over there. And so we need to look into that.
Gotcha.
But I'll be interested in your input. Let's chat about it. Might have some input. What Brian was talking about, Our initial plan was, to take down the old football goalposts on the old high school main field and then make them available, get them installed over here.
Okay.
When I learned, I did not think we would need to go through engineering plans to have those new ones installed in the high school field, which now are installed, but that did often get reviewed by an engineer to make sure that there's enough concrete in the base, et cetera. And that kind of put the brakes on. Maybe they just magically get,
That's what I was wondering.
yeah, so we'll see. But so it's slowed down the process. I need to think about that, talk to folks.
To create a better practice field over here. All right.
That's it. You
That's
guys
it.
adjourn this.
I get to adjourn, so I get to use the fancy hammer?
Yeah.
No.
Dinner time.
Dinner time.
Dinner time. Assuming this was.
Oh, there's not.
I take this-
Yeah, too, it's gonna be.
I'll say that I take this, right?